Hey folks, it is Madcap Toys. Welcome back. I hope you guys are doing fantastic on a Thursday. I wanted to share with you guys something that we had just received in our eBay message boards. You probably, if you are selling a lot in your annual growth and selling a lot of items throughout the year, probably received it too. Not only did I receive a letter in my eBay, but I also received the same likeness kind of letter on Mercari. So I wanted to reach out to you guys in case you hadn't received it yet or you received it and kind of confused on it. So in front of you, you can see it here. It says learn about what we'll need to share with buyers. Hi, Kathy. Beginning June 27th, the new Inform Consumers Act requires marketplaces like eBay, and of course Mercari said the same thing, to provide certain sellers name or company name and full physical address to their buyers in purchase confirmation emails and order details. Specifically, this requirement applies to high volume sellers like you who have both reached $20,000 in annual gross revenue and sold 200 or more new condition items. So if you don't sell that much annually or don't sell that many items yearly, then you are not going to get the letter. So they consider a high volume seller for someone that has reached $20,000 or more in annual gross revenue and sold 200 or more new condition items. So if you do that, then yes, you got this letter. So I'm just going to explain a little bit on the Informed Consumers Act here. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but so basically what the law was put in place, it was to create a safe and transparent online buying process, and it requires marketplaces like eBay to collect, verify, and disclose certain high volume seller information. Again, a high volume seller is someone who has sold 200 or more new items, totaling more than $5,000 in a 12 consecutive month period over the last 2 years on our US site. And if you meet that criteria, they said we'll need to collect and verify some identification and contact information. High volume sellers will need to keep their information up to date and will ask to review it annually. So every year they're going to ask you to confirm your information. And most of the time it will be, what is your mailing address? What is your phone number, etc. So nothing too deep, but that is something that they're going to ask on a yearly basis. If you reach an annual total revenue of $20,000, we're required to include your name or company name and full physical address in purchase confirmation emails and order details. There are some exceptions that allow us to share a partial address with buyers. Now here's where it gets there. The exceptions to sharing your full physical address for the Informed Consumers Act are: number one, if your address is your residential address. If it is, only your state and country will be shown. So that was a relief for me because we mostly, as you guys know, work out of our own little warehouse and our own property. I don't want to share with the entire world, what our street address is. Only if someone was trying to return something, etc. That's fine. But to have the whole world know exactly our point of contact, I didn't like that. So the good news is that if you request for an exception, which we did that yesterday, it says only your state and country will be shown. So that's fine there. If you use, number two, if you use a different address for product returns, then that return address will be displayed. So in our case, our address is the same, but of course, if you have a different, like a P.O. box or something else on a return, then they'll use that address instead. If you meet the criteria for sharing a partial address with buyers, you can request an exception below. We already have done that. So that was the good news there. And they had also said something about the phone number. If it was your personal phone number, I think it said with Mercari as well, they won't disclose that information. So I kind of like that as well. Because, like I said, it would be to everyone, and that's something that, kind of personal there. So you can request an exception. You can also request an exception by navigating to your personal business info in your account settings within My eBay. If you think the above exceptions may apply to you, please take some time to put in a request before this new law goes into effect on June 27th. So it's already there. It's going into effect in about 12 days. We appreciate your patience. We have been advocate the changes, blah, blah, blah. If you have any questions or concerns. So we got this in the email, so I wanted to do it really quickly because they say you have 10 calendar days from the day you receive it to request an exception or verify your information. So it's seemingly like I got this letter like late yesterday evening when we were doing a What Sold video, and then I come back through and I got a letter from Mercari, and they had um, a similar email. It wasn't an email; it was actually just a message. It was just a message piece there. Let me see if I can't find it, I will just go on from there. But I wanted to let you know what it kind of looked like. It doesn't look like that we have it. It doesn't look like the kind of looks like everything removed it from the message board. That's okay, I think. Yeah, here it is. If you see on the right hand side, guys, right here where I've got my um, little cursor there, it says info confirmed. Your contact info will be disclosed to buyers if you reach 28,000 in sales. So I noticed that little piece of information. Yep, here it is. The Informed Consumers Law in Mercari. I'm not going to read it there because we've already talked about it. But yes, so they had also said, hey, you need to get this information to us before the date within 10 calendar days. So we got that all taken care of. They even sent me an email through our regular email and said we're good. But yes, even with Mercari, you have to have all of that updated every year on a yearly basis. If you move, you got to let them know. Phone number change, you got to let them know. But yeah, they're going to ask to collect it every year. What information is Mercari required to collect once a user meets the definition of a high volume third-party seller? Of course, full name, government ID or tax document that includes your full legal name, physical address, tax identification number, working email, working telephone, etc. So they're going to keep up on it. It is something that if you are a high volume seller, that is going to be done. Just because, like Darren had mentioned to me, I said, "Why is this happening?" And he said, "It's because there's so much with that consumers law going on that there's a lot more protection, not only for the seller but also mostly for the buyer as well, and they want to make sure that everything is up to date." So they say here, if we find that a false representation has been made, we will notify you and you will have 10 calendar days to correct it. If the discrepancy is not resolved within the allowable 10-day time frame, your selling activities will be suspended. So it's taken pretty seriously, guys. So when you get this, don't fret, don't worry. Just go ahead and get that information. If you want to opt out, if you have a residential address and or phone number to just include the city and state, you can do that, and it should be all good to go. That's all, guys. I just wanted to share with you that. Also, quickly, won't go on to it. We also had a message um, in regards to using your earnings to shop on eBay. So no more waiting for a payout, where you can actually enroll in regards to where your funds basically become spendable as soon as the buyer pays. I haven't looked into it much, but I do know this. We're mostly gonna, if we take our money in, we're gonna use it for shipping labels in, of course, profiting, etc., doing what we do now. I haven't seriously looked into it. Not everybody is getting this kind of email. It's exclusive invitation only kind of thing. So I think they're just doing this in spurts. But I'm going to look into more of it in the time to come. But I just wanted to find out from you guys if you have received this kind of email, and if you could explain it better, that would be wonderful. So do that in the comments below. We would love to hear from you. That's all I had, guys. If you like the video, go ahead and like it. Of course, comment. We love your comments. If you haven't, subscribe to the Madcap Toys family. We'd love to have you have a part of us and hit the bell for notifications, because each and every time we upload content, you're going to be the first to know. Thanks so much, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.